Coming up on this edition of SUTV News, students are putting some elbow grease into the 2013 flood fight.
A major power outage on campus is being planned.
And in sports, spring practice gets underway for Bison football.
This is SUTV News, and it starts now.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Mariah Stevens.
And I'm Nicole Johnson. NDSU students' votes are in, and congratulations are in order for next year's student body president and vice president.
Basically, our experience is now culminating into the ability for us to run the organization, and we're hoping to be able to do it effectively with great management. We learned a lot from Luca Jace, Cam McKeenan in the past, so we're taking kind of the best of what we learned and then hopefully adding our own flair on it.
Robbie Loff and Eric Diedrich won the student body elections with the Innovate campaign. A large expansion project was also on the same ballot. The proposed aquatic center has been approved by a majority vote. NDSU student government says it will cost students around $30 a semester for a full-time student.
For the fourth time in 5 years, the Fargo-Moorhead area is battling the rise of the Red River. But this year's flood may be different from what it's been in the past. Both cities are more prepared than they were 4 years ago when the flood hit in 2009. The water is expected to reach a little over 34 feet, but Fargo is making enough sandbags to protect up to 42 and a half. And the cold is making the snow melt at a much slower pace.
How bad is the flood going to be? Because it's been such a long, slow melt, some of the water now has soaked into the soil a little bit, which is probably going to make the flood a little lighter than what we were worried about.
Back in 2009, the Red River crested in Fargo at 48.4 feet, but the flood is later this year, and the threat of April rain could wash away the region's snowpack in a hurry.
It may seem all too familiar. Members of the Fargo-Moorhead community are filling sandbags once again. Nicole Johnson has more on the 2013 flood fight.
Inside Jitter's Coffee Bar, we find Eric, an electrical engineer, but he's not here for an afternoon pick-me-up. He is waiting for NDSU students to offer a helping hand to the sandbag effort.
Sure, it's your town, it's your city. I mean, you're part of the community. It's a nice thing to do.
After checking in with Eric, MapBus shuttles students to Sandbag Central free of charge, departing every 20 minutes. And they are overjoyed to see students.
And we're lucky in this community to have a large pool to draw upon because they're really saving us in past flood fights, and they'll again save us this year in this flood fight.
And for some student organizations, the thankful feelings are mutual.
I know that they're keeping track to praise them a little bit for coming out and helping out.
Lieutenant Morris says if the pace stays the same, the 1 million sandbag goal will be met by Thursday.
Just some good hard work and elbow grease, and you can make a big difference in the sandbagging effort.
The 2013 flood fight is still in phase 1, and the city of Fargo is continuing to ask for the community's effort.
Wear warm clothes.
Once students have done their part, Sandbag Central provides snacks and a warm ride back to campus. Nicole Johnson reporting, SUTV News. Thanks to the student and community volunteers, Sandbag Central will be closing Friday. They expected to keep sandbagging through the weekend, but it looks like they won't need to. This summer, students and faculty can expect some major changes. On Saturday, June 1st, beginning at 12 a.m., going until noon, it has scheduled a campus-wide power outage. During the outage, all campus data networks, phone services, IT services, and cable TV will be unavailable. ITS will be doing maintenance and make sure the electrical systems on campus are running properly. The outage is short, and it will provide more stability for the future.
Hopefully we're not going to see too many changes for the end user. The changes that would happen if we didn't do this would be we're more likely to have outages. So we're not necessarily going to be making any radical changes. We're just kind of making sure things are up to date in this building.
The project started last October, but due to the amount of work and energy required, this summer is the only option to finish.
Wind, snow, rain, or shine, they are still determined to train. Find out why many people are running and others are walking after a look at an unusual spring snowfall and the forecast.
Welcome to SUTV News.
Welcome to SUTV News.
Welcome to SUTV News.
SUTV News is a production of the Bison Information Network, North Dakota State University's student-run television station. We promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SUTV News on Cable 1 Channel 14, brought to you by Stop and Go.
Hey, I'm Mariah, and I'm at Bus because not only does it save me money, but with 20 different routes, it makes getting around Fargo much more convenient. I'm at Bus. Do you?
SUTV News is brought to you by Stop and Go. Stop and Go. We're always there.
Welcome back. It's only a month away, but participants have been training since January.
This year's Fargo Marathon is set for Saturday, May 13th. SUTV's Bryn Nelson caught up with a few runners busy getting ready.
The Fargo Marathon has events for every kind of runner. Between youth races, relays, the 5, 10, and full marathon, there is a race for everyone. Some advice for beginners is:
set your goal to something you think you can achieve. Don't try for the half marathon or the 10K right away. But it's definitely worth it. You know, it's a rewarding experience once you cross the finish line.
Balancing work and training for the marathon is hard, but former racers feel it is well worth the effort.
You actually work a lot better when you are healthy and active and training well. So it's a challenge. This time of year especially is really difficult at work, so I miss some training, but you know, you try to keep that balance. It's really important.
Regular running and exercise helps fight disease, prevent bone loss, and relieve stress. But there are many other benefits to running.
Lose probably some weight if you're wanting to trim up any bit, make up for any extra candy bars you might have had the other day.
You can register online at the Fargo Marathon website or request a mail-in registration form by emailing the director. And if you're still wondering if the marathon is for you, just remember:
Oprah Winfrey did it. And I thought, you know what, that's right. If Oprah can do it, I can do it.
Bryn Nelson reporting, SUTV News.
Besides running events, the marathon includes a health and wellness expo and a pasta feed. Also, a Fargo Marathon after party will be held at the venue at the Hub on the 18th at 7 p.m.
If running a whole marathon seems overwhelming, there's another way to get some exercise. Walk This Way is a community walking program held throughout Fargo-Moorhead with the goal to help those who just sometimes don't have the motivation. With below freezing temperatures in April, some have the trouble mustering up the willpower to get out and exercise. On Tuesday, participants met up at the NDSU Wallman Wellness Center to walk a couple miles despite the freezing temperatures. According to the public health, this is just one way to address the growing issues of diabetes, high blood pressure, and weight management.
You know, the walking is important. You know, they talk about nutrition when we come to this, and they talk about the, you know, the effects of the walking and just good overall benefits to everything, every part of your body. You know, it's fun. It's fun.
With 2 walks down and 12 to go, Walk This Way runs through the 14th of May. It's free, and each event holds prize drawings for its participants. You can find more information on cityoffargo.com.
Music may have led the way for a digital takeover. What iPods and MP3 players have done for music, iPads and digital readers are doing for the electronic book industry. SUTV's Jared Medenwald has more.
Ebooks are becoming a lot more popular on the NDSU campus, and the NDSU bookstore is feeling the effects.
We've really reduced our trade book department here in the store down to almost nothing. It's now in the lower level of the store. We don't have very much regular trade books anymore.
Carol Miller explains the reasons for this trend.
There's that instant availability of it. I don't have to go to the bookstore, order it or whatever. I have it right away.
According to Pew Research Center, 26% of Americans 16 and older are reading ebooks.
Creates an environment where if you want to write a book and you want to get it out there, you don't have to go through that rigmarole of having a publisher say, yes, this is worthy enough of being published, and we're going to put money behind it, and you're going to get marketing and all this stuff.
One publisher explains why he joined the ebook craze.
I felt that there was just a lot of extra work being done to make a printed book that just isn't necessary to make an ebook.
Because the cost of electronic publishing is significantly lower, an author can expect a higher income from the sale of an ebook.
And so we go through the whole process that you would do on the traditional side, but we never leave Microsoft Word, and because we don't have to. And so we save, there's just a whole lot of cost cutting involved with going straight to ebook.
Many have jumped on the trend, but some will always prefer an old-fashioned hard copy.
The joy of having and owning books is kind of, that's been a passion of mine. I've got a lot of books signed by authors. You can't sign books, you can't get signed books if they're electronics.
Jerry Madenwald reporting, SUTV News.
Though less and less hard copy books are being printed, Miller and Christensen both agree that scholarly textbooks will continue to stay in the hard copy versions for at least the near future.
Those who are considering sandbagging, here's a tip of advice. Be sure to get a tetanus shot. Tetanus is a medical condition that occurs when a cut gets infected and muscle spasms develop throughout the body. It is important to make sure all immunizations are up to date ahead of time before participating in the flood fight. Coming in contact with floodwaters alone won't cause tetanus, but anyone helping is vulnerable.
Most people enjoy a piece of pizza, or two, but a few brave locals are biting off more than they can chew after this week's campus calendar.
Welcome to SUTV News.
Welcome to SUTV News.
Welcome to SUTV News.
SUTV News is a production of the Bison Information Network, North Dakota State University's student-run television station. We promise to bring you all the latest news and sports from the campus of North Dakota State University. Watch SUTV News on Cable 1 Channel 14, brought to you by Stop and Go.
Jitters is your home for quality coffee drinks. Whether you crave an espresso, iced coffee, mocha, or macchiato, Jitters has just what you need. Now featuring breakfast foods like caramel rolls, bagels, and more, be sure to get your day started right. Located on 12th Avenue North, Jitters has a friendly, relaxed atmosphere with Wi-Fi capability to get all of your studying done on time. Get your fix only at Jitters.
Hey, I'm Mariah, and I'm at Bus because not only does it save me money, but with 20 different routes, it makes getting around Fargo much more convenient. I'm at Bus. Do you? Welcome back. If you're up for a challenge and enjoy eating pizza, Spicy Pie might be the place to go.
They just started a new 18-inch spicy challenge. Contestants have 20 minutes to finish an 18-inch, 7-topping pizza of their choice. Winners of the challenge get a free t-shirt, their name on the wall, and their pizza paid for. Those who finish, but in over 20 minutes, still get their name on the wall if you're in the top 25, just not the free pizza or t-shirt. If contestants don't finish, they get nothing but the leftovers of their failure.
Honestly, I just started to lose my breath a little bit, kind of lost focus, and obviously you burp a lot when you're eating this much meat, this much pizza.
So far, 2 people have completed the challenge in under 20 minutes. If you're interested in the challenge, just go to your nearest Spicy Pie and tell them you'd like to do the complete 18-inch spicy challenge.
Monday is the start of the first annual Comm Week for the Department of Communication. To celebrate, the Bison Information Network is producing 6 talk shows in front of the NDSU bookstore and the Memorial Union. This week also marks the 5-year anniversary of BIN. Peter Gregory, the first general manager, is proud of how far BIN has come.
It started with the students, so we had the students on our side from the beginning. It started in student government, which helps because that's where we got a good chunk of our funding from. But then, we worked with the administration and they supported it. We worked with the communications department and they supported it, and athletics, and we just talked to everyone we could, and that's kind of what you need to do, get everyone involved into it.
Other Comm Week events include NDSU Ad Club pitching a competition and distinguished alum Vipasha Ray, who recently worked for the Associated Press.
From time to time on SUTV News, we like to highlight members of the NDSU community. SUTV's Adam Kempenik shares with us the story of Mel, a man who makes the most out of his job.
Stockbridge Hall is a home to more than 240 freshman boys. And with a lot of boys comes a lot of messes. Custodian Mel Wright has the opportunity to clean up those messes. He shows that being a custodian is about much more than just cleaning.
We have fun. It's not a bad job to be working here with these guys, but sometimes there's conflicts like there always is.
But conflict rarely stops the Stockbridge custodians from enjoying their work. 12-year NDSU custodian Sean has gotten to know Mel quite well over the years.
I like working with Mel. He's a nice guy, and so is Terry.
The custodians know each other so well that they enjoy playing sports together while on break, and they'll never give up the opportunity for some friendly teasing.
Where's your name tag, Mel?
I put it down, it's right there.
Mel and Sean also often find interesting items in the trash, some of which they've collected. It's his enjoyable time at work that keeps him young at heart.
I don't know if that's a trash one or not.
Which, in such a busy work environment, means everything.
We had a lot of fun, and as you can see by all the goofy things on the desk.
Residents also claim they enjoy talking to Mel when they encounter him in the hallway, and would consider him one of the best reasons to live in Stockbridge. For SUTV News, I'm Adam Kempenik.
NDSU currently has job openings and is accepting requests for proposals. A couple of jobs include Director of Financial Aid and Academic Affairs Associate. From time to the massive amounts of snow might start melting, but in Fargo, this could mean flooding for the spring.
This week's Sidewalk Stampede set out to ask students how they feel about the potential flood.
Really want to be sandbagging during dead week or finals, but we'll have to do it if necessary.
I feel like it's not going to be as bad this year as it was previous years, mainly because of the cooler temperatures and all the wind. I think that's been kind of drying up, the water, and it's been melting a lot slower, so I feel like it won't be quite as bad.
With the flood, I kind of just think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. There's not much we can do about it. I mean, we can fill sandbags, but eventually it's just gonna happen.
Honestly, I haven't thought about the flood a lot. This is only my second year up in Fargo, and last year we didn't get much of a flood, so I don't really know what to expect with it.
You know, honestly, I'm not that concerned about the flood, especially with this winter-like weather we've been having.
I still think it's good to be prepared. You know, go out and sandbag a little bit. Joining us now is sports anchor Ryan Nelson.
We are 5 months away from the start of football regular season. It's hard to believe, but there's still snow on the field, and we have all this flooding talk. But the Bison football team, they're not paying attention. They're gearing up. We'll talk about it next. Sports coming up after the break.
Jitters is your home for quality coffee drinks. Whether you crave an espresso, iced coffee, mocha, or macchiato, Jitters has just what you need. Now featuring breakfast foods like caramel rolls, bagels, and more, be sure to get your day started right. Located on 12th Avenue North, Jitters has a friendly, relaxed atmosphere with Wi-Fi capability to get all of your studying done on time. Get your fix, only at Jitters.
Your campus, your news, your sports, your way. SU TV 84. When you're on the go, we're always there. When you need your campus updates, we have them your way. Bison sports updates, campus news. And when you have a second, we're always there. Stay updated, catch highlights. But when you need your biggest news,
This is an SU TV News Update, brought to you by the NDSU Bookstore. This is SU TV News, and it starts now.
your campus station, SU TV 84.
We're Force fans because we love coming to the games. It's very affordable and the whole family enjoys it.
We're Force fans because we enjoy coming to the Forest games. It gives us something to do and look forward to every week.
This is Force Hockey.
SU TV News is a production of the Bison Information Network in conjunction with North Dakota State University's Department of Communication Broadcast Program. For more information, go to www.ndsubin.com.
Welcome back. Less than 3 months after their second straight national championship, the Bison football team is back on the field for spring practice. With the loss of only 7 seniors, expectations are again very high, but there is still plenty of work to be done.
Running for the left sideline, sacked at the 25!
There's not a lot of downtime. We get about a week and a half off and we're right into winter workouts, so it's a quick turnaround.
Snow surrounds Dakota Field. Several players are still recovering from injuries obtained during the season, but the Bison football team is back on the gridiron.
Even though they played a lot of football, you know, our guys have really been hungry, continue to improve, and that's going to be important for us this next year.
We get to split up our off season and get these extra reps. If we didn't have this spring, I mean, we'd go 6 months without getting reps and go right back into the fall.
Each spring serves as an opportunity, especially for young players looking to prove themselves.
This is kind of their first opportunity. They get a couple weeks in the fall to practice things, but then there's a 5-month season where they're on scout squad.
After back-to-back national championships, the coaching staff believes they have found a formula for success, but is always looking to develop new methods.
We want to have repetition and, you know, make everything instinctive, but at the same time, we don't want to be too stagnant with stuff.
Certainly we don't create the wheel again, but every year we're trying to improve. You're either green and growing or ripe and dying, as I say, and so every year we're trying to improve a little bit, and I think we'll do that this spring.
The Bison will practice a total of 15 times leading up to the annual Green versus Gold game on April 27th. They still have yet to replace the game bought out of by Montana State as part of next year's schedule. Bison women's golfer Amy Anderson already owns virtually every school record, but now has her name in the NCAA record books. The senior from Oxbow won her 18th collegiate tournament on Tuesday, passing the unofficial record of 17 held by Julie Inkster of San Jose State. Anderson finished the Kangaroo Invitational with a 2-under par 214 to win by 2 shots. It's the 3rd tournament victory of the season for the 3-time Summit League Golfer of the Year. Bison baseball has played 27 straight games away from Fargo this season. They will add to that this weekend with 1 Summit League doubleheader at Fort Wayne. The Bison are 14-13 overall, 2-2 in the conference after a 4-game split at SDSU last week. Pitching continues to be the strength of the team, led by senior John Straka with a perfect 5-0 record and a 1.50 ERA. South grad David Ernst is 4-4 with a 3.91 ERA for the Bison, whose next home game is scheduled for April 17th. Bison softball has played 32 games on the road this season, but remains red hot, having won 6 straight in 9 of its last 10. They are scheduled to host South Dakota State for a 3-game series starting Tuesday, but those games are in question. The lone senior on the roster, Whitney Johnson, holds a 14-6 record with a 1.64 ERA, winning Summit League Pitcher of the Week honors 4 times this season. Bison track and field will not compete outdoors as scheduled this weekend, as the Lyle Hokinson Classic was canceled due to inclement weather. 5 athletes, including Leslie Brost, Casey Orgon, Travis Fitzke, Paige Stratiotti, and Alex Espelin, hold top 50 marks in the nation so far this season. Both the Bison men and women were picked to repeat as Summit League outdoor champions. It would be the 6th straight honor for the women and the 4th for the men. Wednesday, student athletes from all 14 sports gathered for the annual Bison Academy Awards. This ceremony honors athletes who accomplish great fields not only on the field, but in the classroom. The event was emceed by pitcher John Straka and pole vaulter Jesse Morrow. Notable guests included President Dean Brashani, multiple vice presidents, along with athletic directors Gene Taylor and Lynn Dorn. More than 100 awards were handed out to those individuals with at least a 3.5 GPA. Also receiving recognition was the men's and women's team with the highest cumulative grade point average.
It really shows and goes to their dedication both on the field and in the classroom. And to me, that's so important. And there's so many things going on in college athletics these days that are negatively talked about. This is a celebration of huge proportions.
This year, men's cross country, women's cross country, and women's track and field had the highest GPA, and baseball was most improved.
It's cool to see that they, bleed green and gold, not just on the field, but off as well.
Definitely.
It's impressive. Well, coming up next, your mom may have told you you better shop around, but an educated woman is telling girls exactly how to pick their husbands.
More than 400 million people use Facebook to stay connected with family, friends, and colleagues, in addition to the millions of others who use Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Flickr for networking purposes. While Facebook and other social media sites are great tools to help you connect with friends and build networks, you should also be aware of the potential dangers associated with using these tools. So, let's talk tech.
First of all, always be mindful of what you and your friends are posting online. Nothing online is private, no matter what security settings a website may boast. Anything posted online stays online. So take time to consider what you and your friends are putting online before you post it. For example, do you want your potential employers or your current boss to see embarrassing pictures that your friends have posted? There is also the question of how much information should you disclose on a social media site. Posting too much personal information could lead to lost job opportunities, harassment, internet stalking, and identity theft. Don't publicize information that the public doesn't need to know. Finally, you should think about who you want to see those things you've posted online by evaluating the appropriateness of the privacy settings on your social media site. It is recommended that you customize your settings such that only your close friends can see your personal information, such as your home address, email, and phone numbers. Ideally, this information should not even be online. Additionally, social media networks frequently update their security protocols, so be sure to review and update your security settings regularly. With these precautions, you will be well on your way to enjoying a safe and secure social networking experience.
college is a time to meet people and experience new things. Susan Patton, one of the first females to graduate from Princeton, recently wrote a letter to female Princeton students urging them to find their husband before graduation. The letter encourages these women to realize their male classmates are some of the greatest men they will meet. Patton believes marrying a college man will prevent women from feeling frustrated with a man who isn't as smart as them. Some NDSU females feel college isn't the only place to find a husband.
I think there are definitely other opportunities. I think college is just the time that you need for yourself, just to grow as a person and to be whoever you want to be.
College when you find him or her, or you could, find him at a coffee shop.
Patton said the letter was intended to suggest that college-age women should keep an open mind, look around, and realize that college men are the best guys.
Well, thank you for watching this edition of SUTV News.
Be sure to pick up your copy of The Spectrum and check us out on Facebook or Twitter.
Have a great night.